On the headlines, President Tinubu transmits to the Senate list of first set of 28 ministerial nominees for screening and confirmation.
While noting that the above list is not exhaustive and that additional nominations will be sent in due course,
Senate condemns sit-at-home order in the southeastern Nigeria.
He may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths.
Plus, House of Representatives passes Defense Industry Corporation Bill.
The bill is hereby read for the third time and passed.
Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News. I am Muhammad Rabiu. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has transmitted to the Senate names of ministerial nominees for screening and confirmation. President of the Senate, Fabio, who announced this at the Senate plenary, said 28 names of nominees were presented to the Senate with a promise from President Tinubu to transmit more names in due course.
I hope that the aforementioned nominees will receive the expeditious consideration and confirmation of the Senate.
A stitch in time, they say, saves 9. The activities of unknown gunmen in the southeastern part of Nigeria has resulted in loss of lives and led to a drop in Nigeria's gross domestic product as economic indices of the zone continues to nosedive. These have raised the ire of the Senate as it condemns in totality the sit-at-home order and the nefarious activities of the gang leader Simon Ekpa. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
In response to a motion from Senator Osita Izunaso, co-sponsored by presiding officers of the Senate and all the senators from the Southeast geopolitical zone, the Senate urged the federal government to collaborate with the government of Finland for the extradition of Simon Ekpa to Nigeria for prosecution.
If the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths.
A situation where these boys will come out on the streets and dance naked, and there's no response to the mayhem that they are unleashing on the people. We must talk to our security people.
Over 7 trillion naira has gone because all the manufacturing houses are down in Aba.
The entire country has been suffering as a result of the menace of these unknown gunmen in the southeast, because it's affecting lives, affecting properties, and creating a state of fear that some of the citizens are not able to engage even in farming.
In another motion, Senate called on authorities to tackle the outbreak and prevent the spread of diphtheria in parts of Kaduna State.
The Kaduna State government has confirmed that the death toll from the diphtheria outbreak in the state has risen to 17, with 68 suspected cases identified.
And this disease can be transmitted through airborne or fluid contact.
The reason why we are seeing spikes of it now in some states and it's likely to spread is because we know that immunization rates have reduced.
Vaccine Production Institute in VOM, they have the capacity for them to produce vaccine.
Plenary featured the screening and confirmation of board members of the Northeast Development Commission as requested by President Tinubu. General Paul Tafa is the chairman, while Goni Al-Ali is the managing director.
With the issue of federal character, Mr. President has demonstrated that he recognizes the diversity of this country.
All the senators representing the Northeast in making sure that projects cited in their constituencies are actually followed and oversighted.
The confirmation of the board members of the Northeast Development Commission is the second approval of presidential appointees by the 10th Senate.
And the House of Representatives has passed the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act to the Repeal and Reenactment Bill. The bill is to provide comprehensive framework for regulating the manufacturing, distribution, storage, and disposal of defense articles in the country. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen reports on these and other resolutions at Tuesday's plenary.
The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria bill, when signed into law, is expected to facilitate the provision of military technologies for the armed forces and boost research activities in the defense sector of the country.
The bill is hereby read for the third time and passed.
On growing incidents of flooding in parts of the country, the Green Chamber requested relevant agencies to provide succor for victims.
Alasawa, Jaba, Koren Akuya, and Kwakwachi 2, all in Fage local government area of Kano State. These areas, Mr. Speaker, are facing severe and destructive environmental degradation and poverty as a result of erosion and flood.
Osun State University Campus Road, Ikire, has been taken over by flood. Ikire Federal Express Junction taken over by flood. This is the main federal government road from Ibadan to Ife.
Lawmakers expressed concern over unemployment rate in the country and reached a resolution
to urge the National Directorate of Employment to undertake a survey and develop a database that will track employment status of graduates and core members, which will be essential for evidence-based decision.
Meanwhile, the House asked the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to urgently address cases of exploitation of electricity consumers by the DISCOs.
To discontinue the assertive practice of estimated or arbitrary billing, and with immediate effect put in place an effective metering plan which assures consumers of fair billing.
I am equally a direct victim, and my father is equally a direct victim of attitudes of these DISCOs because they are not properly regulated.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Power when constituted.
There was consensus that the volume of gas being flared in the country could be converted to electricity for the benefit of host communities that suffer devastation.
Flared gas resources, a major and cheap source of electricity, capable of taking care of the power needs of the host communities and even beyond, that can in turn stimulate the economic growth of the country through small and medium-scale businesses.
Is to set up an investigative hearing with a view to unraveling why gas is flared instead of it converted to electricity.
Already, the House Ad Hoc Committee has commenced investigative hearings on gas flaring activities in the country. Representative Ahmed Munir, who chairs the Ad Hoc Committee, is optimistic that gas flaring fines running into billions of dollars will be recovered from erring oil and gas companies. From the National Assembly, Mitari Ikben, NTA News.
The need for effective synergy and respect for the rule of law as major ingredients to propel democratic rule dominated speeches at a book launch to mark 60th birthday of the Senate leader, Senator Ogbemi Bamidele. National Assembly correspondent Rina Opasi has the details.
God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
That was the unveiling of the book titled Leadership Through Communication by Senate Leader Ogbemi Bamidele, which attracted dignitaries from the executive to legislature, as well as friends and well-wishers. They are here to honor him at his 60th birthday. The book reviewer, Professor Sylvester Kim of Lagos State University, says the book, which is in 2 volumes, emphasizes on the importance of effective communication and rule of law in democratic rule.
By playing the role of a reformer within the system, I think that is the merit, of this authorship.
Speaking on the leadership challenges in modern societies, the guest speaker, Professor Tony Ogundipe, charges political leaders to tackle the problem of poverty and be accountable to the people to gain their trust.
There is need also for our leadership to now come up with strategies on how to handle the youth movement that we have in Nigeria. The next one is about economic stability. Our leaders need to look at that direction and reduce the problem of environment, that is environmental problem.
Vice President Shetima Kashim represented Senate President Godswill Akpabio, among other dignitaries, took turn to eulogize the Senate leader.
Ever since his student days, Senator Bamidele has been intimately involved with public affairs. He has gathered rich experiences over the years that always reflect in his contribution to public discourse.
When you listen to the debates and you see the angles that they come from, you notice experience, you notice nationalism, you notice patriotism.
For the celebrant, it was that of gratitude to God for his mercy upon him and the privilege to serve humanity.
I want to give my best, not only in the red chamber, but everywhere I find myself.
In Abuja, Rina Obasi, NTA News.
And on to State House of Assemblies. The Benin State House of Assembly has adopted the 2023 Standing Order of the House as its working document. The adoption followed of a report of an ad hoc committee set up by the House to review the Standing Order. Assembly correspondent Grace Anyalewa Itekma reports.
In a lead debate, Chairman of the ad hoc committee and Majority Leader of the House, Tise Sati, while presenting findings of the committee, says they traveled across the country, visited the National Assembly and received contributions from members as well.
The high point of difference to our knowledge in the committee was the inclusion of Deputy Minority Whip and then Deputy Minority Leader.
Speaker Onduna Dajo and other members of the House commended the committee for doing a thorough job.
We will continue to do our best so that things will be right. As members of the 10th Assembly, as sons of Benue State, as colleagues in the 10th Assembly, as one family, please.
The House thereafter adopted the Standing Order as a working document. From the Assembly, Grace Anyalewa Ichekpa, NTA News.
And meanwhile, the Benue State House of Assembly has constituted its standing committees with a charge on chairmen and members to carry out their duties without fear or favor. Again, Assembly correspondent Grace Anyalewa Ichekpa reports.
The House committees, which are 26 in numbers, have the following as chairmen. Appropriation has Becky Opin as chairman. Health and Human Services, Thomas Dugeri as chairman. Information and Orientation has Elias Audu as chairman. Judiciary Ethics and Privileges has Alfred Mbega as chairman. Finance has Matthew Damko as chairman. And Public Accounts has Anthony Agom as chairman, among others. While inaugurating the committees, the Speaker Onduna Dajo urged the chairmen and members of the various committees to discharge their duties with utmost fairness. Also at the plenary, the House confirmed the appointment of Mrs. Mercy Nungu as the Deputy Clerk. Until her appointment, Mrs. Nungu was the Director, Legislative Matters, Benue State House of Assembly. At the end of the plenary, Chairman House Committee on Information and Orientation, Elias Audu, says the 10th Assembly will give the people of the state quality legislation that will translate to good governance.
The primary role of government is what? Security of lives and property, and also people's welfare. We are going to make laws that the people we are going to make laws that will promote the welfare of the people.
The House has proceeded on recess to resume on the 22nd of August 2023. From the Benue State House of Assembly, Grace Anyalewa Ichekpa, NTA News.
And still to come, Kano State House of Assembly calls for social amenities in the state. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. And you're watching Parliamentary News. Kano State has passed 5 motions calling on the state government to provide social amenities across the state. Assembly correspondent Samira Hamisu reports that the House also announced leadership and composition of its 38 standing committees. The report.
This plenary, which has the highest number of items on the order paper of the 10th Kano Assembly, demonstrates the readiness of the lawmakers towards a vibrant legislative year. Abdul Hamid moved a motion calling on the state government to reconstruct a 12-kilometer road that connects about 3 wards in Minjibur local government area and some parts of Jigawa State and Niger Republic.
The road is affecting 3 wards out of the 11 wards we have in Minjibur constituency, and how it affects the community, of course, is obvious. That without a road, movement of goods and services, are restricted.
Meanwhile, Murtala Kadagi's motion of Garko is calling on the state government to construct a bridge along Auduga Primary School Road at Raba Ward. Al-Usma Abakar Tasiu focused on the upgrade of Kiru Comprehensive Clinic to the status of a general hospital. On education, the House deliberated on the establishment of College of Education in Karai, contained in the motion sponsored by Representative Ibrahim Ahmed.
I know the importance of the establishment of this institution in that area. I ask them to support this motion and call on the state government to establish this particular institution in that area of the government. And of course, as you know, Karai is a very historic town, not only in the western or southern part of Kano State, but in Kano State generally.
While Ibrahim Mohammed sponsored a motion calling on the state government to renovate Rano water treatment plant. All the motions were unanimously adopted. The House rounded up the plenary with a matter of urgent public importance on the exhumation of 3 bodies from Dansinke graveyard in Darmanawa, Taroni local government area. A resolution was passed urging immediate fencing of the graveyard and its likes across the state and the need to equip vigilantes securing graveyards in the state. The House has been adjourned to Monday the 31st of July 2023. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shira, NTA News.
And the Osun State House of Assembly has set up an ad hoc committee to oversight the ongoing reconstruction work of the 91-kilometer Iwo-Ibadan road. Joshua Ogunjide tells us more.
It is the second time the Managing Director and CEO, Peculiar Ultimate Concerns Limited, Olariwaju Adeleke, is appearing before the Assembly for further clarification on work done so far on the Iwo-Ibadan Expressway. The House last week asked him that having been paid 30% out of the total contract cost of 11.3 billion naira, the supposedly 18-month project is currently on 20.59% completion since October 2022.
Please explain to us what your intention with the job is, how you intend to complete it. Thank you.
I think there's a consultancy that is monitoring the job apart from the ministry. I think they need to be questioned as well. We need to get to the root of this matter.
What is your duration for lab test on the soils? What is the duration? Is it pre-test or post-test? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Explain your planning stage activity on Iwo-Osogbo Road.
Adeleke explained that 9 kilometers of asphalt have been done so far on the road, after which laboratory tests will be conducted before overlay.
Before now, within a space of, let's say, 10 months, within 55 kilometers of road in Osun State before now. And I believe, differently on our records and what we have done in most of the places, the 10 months is more than enough for us to round up. More importantly, we'll be entering into the dry season, and that will give us better speed.
But there is a circular by federal government. Any unprotected work should not be captured, because if you spend the school days today and you leave, after a week or 2 or 3 months, you come back, you don't like wash it away. That's why we decided not to be capturing that work. So to that, they may be doing work, but to us in the ministry, we have not, we don't recognize that. So to me, in the summary, I'm not satisfactory with what he has achieved so far, with the method and what he has done.
Speaker Adewale Egbedu opined that 6-member ad hoc committee, headed by the Deputy Speaker Akinyode Oyewusi, be constituted to oversee the project. They are to conduct an inspection on the site and submit the report to the Assembly for consideration. Earlier on, Speaker Adewale Egbedu commiserated with the people of Osun on the recent Ikiri flooding incident, maintaining that the Osun state government is working towards bringing relief to the victims.
I'm aware the efforts are being put in place to ensure that the waterways are fully cleared and the occurrence of the sad event is prevented. Dear colleagues, we must continue to enlighten our constituents to be more responsible in handling their refuse. Disposing of refuse on the waterways is not suitable for the environment and should be entirely discouraged.
Meanwhile, 2 bills, namely the Osun State Local Content Bill 2023 and the Osun State Community Social Responsibility Bill 2023, were read on the floor of the House for the first time. In Osogbo, Joshua, today, NT News.
The Kaduna State House of Assembly has recommended the suspension of 3 local government chairmen over misappropriation of funds. The House at plenary also received the list of 14 commissioner nominees for screening. Ahmed Muhammad Zango reports.
The nominees appeared before the House for screening and confirmation. Issues on the way forward in the development of the state were the focus. Former members among the commissioner nominees were given special recognition as they take a bow. Among the 14 nominees are former Speaker Kaduna State House of Assembly Amin Abdullahi Shagali and former member representing Kaduna South Federal Constituency Ahmed Morovia, and 3 women made the nominees list.
We are going to work hand in hand to make sure that people of Kaduna State, enjoy dividends of democracy, and
we are going to look into children, rape issues, castigation laws have to put into domestication in Kaduna State. As you all know, we have these laws in Kaduna State, so we are going to make the laws to be active. Anybody that have any issue of rape or child molestation or child abuse, we are going to deal with such issues.
The members expressed satisfaction with the caliber of people nominated, saying they are suitable for offices designated. Before then, a report of investigation on financial activities of 5 local government chairmen was presented. The affected local government are Kaura, Chikun, Binungwari, Soba, and Kagarku. The report presented by chairman of the ad hoc committee Munira Stanimu from Lere East constituency was adopted by the House. 3 of the chairmen are suspended for 6 months till further investigation, while Binungwari and Soba chairmen are to maintain their seats.
That each of the chairmen of Kagarku, Chukun, and Kaura local government, having contravened Section 48 of the Local Government Administration Law 2015 and subsection 35 and Section 35, subsection 25 of the Kaduna State Public Procurement Law 2016. We hereby recommend that they vacate their offices for further investigation on the matter.
The House adjourned sitting till Wednesday, 26 July. Amazongo, NT News.
The Delta State House of Assembly has confirmed 9 out of the 26 commissioner nominees submitted to it by State Governor. Assembly correspondent Godfrey Ezekwe reports.
The 9 nominees were confirmed at the floor of the State House of Assembly after a thorough screening. They include Princess Pat Ajudwa, Joan Onyemichi Adanioma, Izeze Rume Yakubu, Chief Fidelis Tilije, Sonny Akpakiamo, God Knows Angeli, Joseph Onojiame, and Orode Udwaha. The Speaker, Imomotimi Guo, congratulated them and implored them to give their best to the service of the state after the Majority Leader, Emeka Nwobi, moved a motion for the confirmation of their appointments.
Sitting members of this Honorable House, Honorable Princess Pat Ajudwa, PhD, FICMC, JP, the Honorable Joan Oyemichi Adanioma, the Honorable Comrade Zezi Rume Yakubu Ruben, Esquire, and all others have been duly screened. Those in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The House adjourned plenary to Wednesday, July 26, 2023. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
9 additional commissioner nominees have been screened by the Oyo State House of Assembly, and this brings to 16 the total number of nominees screened by the House. Assembly correspondent Oyeyinka Omole reports on these and other matters at plenary.
Present for screening at the plenary are 3 returning commissioners and 6 fresh nominees, in addition to earlier confirmed 7 commissioner designates. After self-introduction by the nominees, the lawmakers were convinced about their antecedents as former commissioners and having served in various capacities in their different areas of specialization. Speaker Adebo Ogundoyin, while moving for the confirmation of the nominees, commended the state governor, Seyi Makinde, for being discreet in the choice of his cabinet members to achieve his developmental goal in his second-term administration.
The promotion of tourism and mineral resources are key things that we want to use to drive the economy.
All you need to do is to bring out the blueprint and flip. You will start ticking one after the other. So I'm proud and privileged to serve in the administration. And
also at the plenary, 2 motions adopted are the need for government to employ more public primary school teachers to forestall collapse of primary education system in the state, and the need to rehabilitate roads across Oyo State to ease vehicular movements and business activities, which were forwarded to appropriate House committees for further actions. Speaking on the matter of urgent public importance, Musbau Aziz, representing Kajola State constituency, bordered on restraining act of insecurity and kidnapping in his constituency and Oyo State at large, citing the current kidnap of a medical doctor and one of the hospital staff.
It's very, very sad that for the people to even kidnap a medical doctor, a home medical doctor, in civilized country of today. So the government must do something.
The House adjourned to reconvene on Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And that's our package for today. You can also follow our news updates on our social media handles scrolling on your screen. Thanks for watching. Good evening.